Good afternoon. It's meteorologist Erica Martin with Weather Co-op, where weather meets community. We have so much weather happening this afternoon for, wow, the South. Definitely getting pounded by a lot of storms moving all along the Mississippi Valley, Tennessee Valley, just seeing lots of hail reports. And we're even seeing the threat of the potential for tornadoes. We have a tornado watch in effect. Although I've been seeing it decrease the area that's been impacted. We're going to go through this together and talk about what we're seeing right now. But wow, look at all of these storms. I'm meteorologist Erica Martin. I'm the founder of Weather Co-op. I'm also a Skywarn storm spotter and a Weather Ready Nation ambassador. So together we're going to go through all of these storms here and talk about what's happening right now. And you can actually see how this system right here, this is bowing out. So this is going to be an area of interest as far as I'm concerned, even though what we're seeing here is a severe thunderstorm watch and a warning. Can you see that mustardy color? I'm curious to see what this is right here, simply because this is bowing out. And anytime it does that, it can certainly lead to a lot of dangerous situations. So let's just go ahead and see why my query box is taking its time there. Okay, let's see. Let's go ahead. I'm going to pause this to now. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. We're going to go through our current temperatures and what we're going to expect over the next couple of days. Additionally, we're going to talk about, I'm going to remove radar for 1 second, and I just want to focus on this right here, okay? So we have our severe thunderstorm warning, and we also have a severe thunderstorm watch. This blue here, I gathered this has to do with an airport. So it's an aviation weather warning report, and probably some special weather statements that are telling us that they're concerned about wind speeds, wind gusts, and a couple of strong storms. So let's go ahead and pop our radar back up. Remember, we're just going to be using our regular radar. Nothing like, we're not going to go with a sweeping radar, at least not yet. I just don't feel the need for that because I do have to go across the entire country, and then we'll come back and we'll settle right in this area. So we're going to focus on Texas. We're going to focus on Louisiana. We're also going to focus in Mississippi, Alabama, Arkansas. Well, these are a lot of storms moving through. Okay. Let's also see if we can get some of our local storm reports for the past 3 hours. Okay. See what we get here. So our local storm reports for the past hour include a tornado report. So let's see who posted that one and let's get some information on it. Okay. So we're going to see that this report was issued at 5:35 p.m. local time. Okay, so 5:35 p.m. local time, so just a few minutes ago, in Fairbury, Nebraska, Jefferson County. This was a trained spotter. Okay, so a trained spotter put this information in a query. For example, what they'll do is National Weather Service will come down, survey it to confirm that it is indeed a tornado. Okay. But we're seeing a lot of hail damage, a lot of hail reports, and this is a very nasty little setup for this afternoon and this evening hour for the Gulf states here. So let's just go ahead and do a couple of little updates here. Looking to see. Yep, the dry line. That's exactly what I thought would be one of the issues. That's exactly what we're seeing. That's where we're starting to see some, actually continuing to see the tornado watch that's been issued by the National Weather Service. You can see they're in the yellow. That is important to watch anytime we're looking at an area that has the dry line. We want to just be sure that we're really aware of where these air masses might battle it out. And you can tell right here. In fact, if I loop this for the last, we go back to my last 3 hours and loop it, you guys can tell here that there's actually this storm cell right here. Do you see this? I'm going to zoom in. This guy right here. Okay. So just north of Lubbock, I'm going to zoom in a little bit more, see if I can do so. Just south of Amarillo. This is a strong little guy. So this whole area is in, okay, now we have a tornado warning. So let me go a little farther north. We're going into Kansas. Well, we're going to the border of Oklahoma and Kansas. Let's go ahead and stop this right now and see who has this. So again, the one report we have was in Nebraska earlier today, about 20 minutes ago. I'm going to remove our local storm reports and we're going to focus on this guy right here. Okay. So it's on the border of Oklahoma and Kansas. This looks like it could go tornadic. So let's just observe some more information here. Okay. So what town are we on right now? We're so just north of Buffalo, Oklahoma, just southwest of Avila. And wow, look at that. Really strong influx of moisture. This is quite a strong little storm, huh? I'd say little, strong storm. Okay. We're going to get our sweeping, we're going to get our radar on. Okay. And let's continue to move this and lift this through. Okay. I'm now going to go back to a last hour. Okay. Just so that you guys get some kind of idea of what's happening here. See? Do you see how that storm cell, there's how it's picking this up and how we're starting to see that one of them is starting to fizzle out, the other one continues along, okay? Here you can tell, guys, you all know this. We've talked about this several times. This is your tornado watch area, and this is issued by the National Weather Service. Let's see. Let's get this going for you guys. A little delayed, no worries. Okay. So this is in effect for the next couple of hours and until 11 p.m. local time, including the Panhandle of Oklahoma, Beaver, Texas, Armstrong, Carson, Collingsworth, Donley, Gray, Hansford, Lipscomb, Hutchinson, Moore, Hemphill, Ochiltree, Potter, Randall, Roberts, Sherman, Wheeler. All right, guys, there's a lot happening. Let's see. Now, I know we were supposed to have a guest on this afternoon. Let's see if Anna is still around. Yeah, let's see. All right, she's going to join us. Yay. So let's go ahead and send her an invite so she can join us and talk about some of the concerns we have about air quality. I think that's one of the things that a lot of people have been asking me about lately. And especially after listening to what Robert Kennedy Jr. said. I definitely have my own thoughts on that, but hey, I want to make sure that I get you guys the information that you need, which includes our air quality right now. And we'll talk a little bit about that, okay? So just give me a moment to get this going. Oh man, I had it all on that block. Let's see, guys, if this is it. All right, then we'll send out the invite, and whoever can jump on, can jump on. Otherwise, I've got to get back to tracking these tornadoes and everything that's happening here, or the threat of tornadoes and these really strong storm cells. So that definitely looks like some active weather here that's looming through parts of the nation. Okay. Guys, I also want to show you our current conditions because we do have to look at temperatures that oftentimes gives you, paints a good picture of what's happening. Current dew points and then current temperatures are really important as well. Right now, we're seeing cooler conditions along the West Coast. San Francisco at 50, 60s, San Diego in the mid 60s, and then we're seeing much warmer conditions for Albuquerque, Amarillo, Odessa, Stiles, Dallas, 66 for you, Oklahoma City, 76, Wichita, 76, Kansas City, 75, Rapid City, 38. Much cooler up here, right along the Great Plains. We have Billings at 47, Thermopolis, 44, Bismarck, 53, Rapid City, 38. Portland in the 70s along with Whitebird, and then we're hitting some 50s right around the Great Lakes. So 57 degrees, Chicago, Green Bay, 54, Indianapolis, you're nice and warm there at 80. We've got Louisville at 69, headed down to Atlanta, 74, Charlotte, 68, Charleston, 71, keeping it in the 70s for Baltimore, Philadelphia, upper 60s for New Haven and New York, along with Boston and Buffalo, while Pittsburgh is sitting pretty in the 80s. So definitely a very nice stretch for some of us across the nation, but I think we're just looking at pretty much all the roller coasters that are happening because there's just a lot of weather going on, guys. Now, I do want to look at the current wind profile as well, because I told you there is a dry line, and that's always something we want to be mindful of anytime we're talking about the potential for some active weather, okay? Always something we want to be aware of, okay? So That's where this is where our masses that are just super different, like one is dry, one is moist. These two just battle it out. They meet along this area that we call the dry line, and that tends to be a lot more active. And you can see all these little microclimates, these little micro, you know, like little lifestyles happening here, microclimates, if you will, like I say. But you can see, like, people are having all types of weather, right? Look at that. Very, very, very interesting. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at our wind speed, and then we're going to head back to our main graphic that operates in real time, okay? This does too, but it's giving me products that, I'm okay with, but I'm fine with understanding the wind profile right now. 15 miles per hour for Amarillo, 19 for, let's see, for Dallas, 11 for Des Moines, Sioux Falls at 15, 13 for Billings, 11 for Baltimore, 12 for Boston, 11 for Jacksonville, and 8 for Atlanta. But I think we really need to get right back to what's happening here in that we need to see, let's cut that off there. We need to see what's happening with our real-time data. All right, so the way you guys know I've layered this for you, there's a couple of things here. I like to always make sure that I am layering this for you guys in a way that makes it really understandable for you. Now, if you notice here, we do have our earthquake updates that are also populating that happened over the past hour. I will get that back to you, but right now I'm going to remove that, okay? Because we just want to focus on these storms right now that are moving through. Wow. Through the Mississippi Valley, Ohio Valley, and there's another tornado warning. Hang tight, guys. We got to get to this. We're going to remove our satellite image right here. Whew, there it is. We're going to remove our radar as well. And there we go. There we are. Yeah. Do you see how small that was? Like, that was just buried underneath a storm that was moving through. Like, that's just pretty wild. Let's see. If we have any guests that are popping on, if they can, great. If they cannot, okay. So, actually, hang tight. Let's see. Actually, I have to talk to one of my friends who actually needs me for some help with some weather stuff. So I'm excited. But in the meantime, we've got to check these tornado warnings, okay? And now we're seeing these special weather statements that are populating, okay? Do you see these here? I'm gathering these are all due to Doppler indicated cells that are causing attention, that are grabbing our attention, and are a lot more hostile. So in this case, a strong thunderstorm will impact southwestern Lyon County through 6:15 p.m. local time. At 5:42 p.m., Doppler indicated radar was tracking a strong thunderstorm 4 miles west of Emporia, moving east at 10 miles per hour. Source radar indicated, I think I just said that, gusty winds could knock down tree limbs and blow down unsecured objects. So this entire area, now this right here is let's take a look here. In Colorado, we have a severe thunderstorm warning. See that? Okay, it's going to give it a minute to populate. Okay. Now, here's another severe thunderstorm warning. We also have a severe thunderstorm watch. Let's clear all that so I can show you everything else that's out there. Okay. This is a flooding concern right here. This makes sense. This tells me that the sea flood advisory. So this tells me that this guy right here is running rampant and just dumping like all types of liquid, whether it's super cooled liquid and it's hail or it's just liquid that's coming out. And look at the wind profile. So velocity product. Should we go to? Okay, let's do I have Nebraska? Nope, I don't. Let me pull up a radar site in Nebraska. Guys, it's crazy. Isn't it always? There's always like a new state that's like forefront. Just like this is the state today. So, okay, we're gonna go to Nebraska. Let's see if we find our Doppler radar, okay? We do. We can just use that. I'm gonna go with North Platte for now. Okay. Let's see what happens. Okay, let's get our North Platte one right now. Okay. Let's use velocity. North Platte. Let's see what it gives us. Okay. And it might, so let's just turn off the other radar. Okay, let's see what happens. what we'll do is I'll even try to zoom in a little bit. Okay, the tornado warning has been discontinued. We are now dealing with more special weather statements. We also have fire weather moving across parts of the Rockies with major concerns. We have fire weather watches, fire weather statements, red flag warnings issued. Just south of Dallas, looks like we're seeing a concern here for flooding. I'm going to zoom on out just one moment. I think I zoomed a little too far. No worries, it happens. But we're going to start focusing on the, let's see, flood alerts also issued here, okay? So we can see that in this case, we have a flood warning issued by the National Weather Service, okay? And in this case, this is going to be in effect until 9 p.m. Hang on one second. So this is going to be in effect until 9 p.m. local time. It will take several hours for all the water from these storms to recede. So in this case, we're looking at Doppler indicated radar returns, right? Oftentimes that's what we're looking at. But look at all these storm cells that are tracking from south to north across the Mississippi Valley, the Ohio Valley, Tennessee Valley. I mean, Arklatex is getting slammed right now. Just lots of rain, heavy rain, and we're actually getting some rotation soon enough. Okay. The only report of a tornado we had was in Nebraska earlier today, and that was Skywarn Storm Spotter. That was not anything having to do with the National Weather Service confirming it. Okay. Even though Skywarn Storm Spotter does a great job, it's still something we have to keep you guys updated on. Okay. So now what we're seeing here is some type of a wind alert. Okay. Oh, thank you so much. Let's see here. Let's see if we can get this going for you guys. May not. Somebody joined, right? I don't know why I'm frozen here. I might be frozen on one of them. Okay. So right now, it looks like, let me just give somebody an update here. They should go to Weather Co-op. Yeah, I'm frozen on one of these. Hey, heads up to my director. There is one of the products is frozen here. The other one's going just fine. Just for what it's worth, we'll discard that. Okay. So we're still moving through. Let's see. We're now moving through what's happening across California, because I think one of the things people are noticing is that the weather is a little bit cooler, and that's going to be the story for the next couple of days. But hey, things could be worse, right? As we take a look at what's happening across the Mississippi Valley as well as the Ohio Valley. There is a lot happening there. So now, guys, we're here. Are alerts that are populating time for you. Remember, I set these up in a particular method that allows me to give you guys super accurate information. Here we have all of these storm cells marching across it's from the south to north, as well as those are just moving across the Great Plains. Okay, so Nebraska, you guys are getting slammed. You also had a report of a tornado earlier today. And now we're headed to what's happening here across California. Now, we're definitely seeing a lot of microclimates, right? And we're seeing a lot of clouds. Let's take a look at some of the reports that we're seeing that are of concern here along Southern California, the high desert, the Empire, wind advisories issued from 1 p.m. Friday until 11 p.m. Saturday, southwest winds 20 to 30 miles per hour with gusts up to 45 miles per hour. Death Valley National Park in western Mojave Desert. Let's see, gusty winds will blow around unsecured objects. That's a big problem. That could certainly be disruptive. And then we also have what looks like air quality concerns as well. Now, this is many people are going to want to enjoy it. But a heads up, we do have a storm system. I'm actually going to just give me one moment. We do have a storm system that will likely move in a couple of weeks, and I'm just going to show you what we have. Last week, those little showers that impacted parts of Southern California, those were great. We got those; they were fantastic. But of course, we're always looking for the possibility of heavier rounds of rain impacting the area, right? So let's take a look here to see what we have. Okay, let's move this through here. Okay, we definitely want to see, and this is also our 18Z run. We're going to go to our 12Z run. So guys, whenever I'm looking at these for you, I want to look at several types of runs for you just to make sure that we're looking at the proper product. Yeah, winds are going to be a problem. And then right around May 10th, May 11th, there seems to be a frontal boundary that begins to push in. That's what we're going to be watching very closely for you. Oh, additionally, we still have some winter weather advisories in effect from 5 p.m. Friday until 11 a.m. Sunday. Snow accumulations of 3 to 6 inches along the Sierra Crest with 10 to 12 inches along the highest peaks, including the White Mountains, 1 to 3 inches for communities along Highway 395. Ridge winds gusting up to 50 miles per hour. Wow, that is absolutely incredible. So this is a big concern over the weekend, okay? Additional details, heaviest snowfall expected Friday night and Saturday morning. Snow will struggle to accumulate on roadways during the daytime hours, though isolated heavy snow showers may bring greater accumulations Saturday night and Saturday and Sunday afternoon. So we've got to be mindful of that. Slow down and use caution while traveling. The latest roads conditions for the state you are calling from could be obtained by calling 511 or with checking with us here at Weather Co-op or Weather Meets Community. The winds are definitely interesting here. They're a lot more active. I think this is a pretty interesting setup, at least for the next couple of days. Again, the bigger problem we're seeing is going to be cooler temperatures and stronger wind speeds and wind gusts, okay, in along Southern California. So guys, just be mindful of that. But we've got to go back to our tornado warning, which has been issued by the National Weather Service. This one is still in effect, and this one will continue to be in effect until 6:45 p.m. local time. At 6:09 p.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 5 miles northeast of South Plains or 12 miles south of Silverton, moving southeast at 20 miles per hour. So a tornado and ping pong sized hail is the potential there, okay? So just be aware. Friends and family in that area. So northeastern Floyd County in northwestern Texas, northwestern Motley County in northwestern Texas, southwestern Hall County in the panhandle of Texas, southeastern Briscoe County in the panhandle of Texas. Guys, definitely lots of storms firing up, which we knew would be the case. I mean, but look at this, look at the nation. I'd say like the middle of the nation is slammed with storms moving through. We're getting some rotation, as I mentioned to you before. We don't have any other reports of a tornado, with the exception of one that was reported by a spotter in Nebraska. So let's see if I can get it. Yeah, so that we're just firing up here. Let me remove my satellite because I just don't think right now we need it. Do you see these? So I would say these are Titan impact range from about a 2 in Arkansas, probably a 2 to a 3. And then we get a little bit stronger up there in Kansas. And as we move into Missouri and Iowa, we're starting to see some stronger storm cells. And then Missouri, Indiana, Illinois. Wow. Michigan. Wow, there's a lot here. Kentucky. Tennessee, these are just firing up. And again, I don't see any rotation just yet. There's definitely something I'll look out for and I'll keep an eye out for as far as that potential for anything to go tornadic. But we're also seeing a new severe thunderstorm warning issued. So this is what we're looking at right here, guys. Do you see this? I hope you do. This is what we're looking at right here. Okay, so it's interesting. There's a tornado. There's a severe thunderstorm watch in the pink. Over it, there's a tornado watch. Over that, there's a severe thunderstorm warning. And over that, there is a tornado warning. Okay, so I'm going to try and get a sweeping radar up. This is Texas. So let's see here. Can we get a sweeping radar up? Great. Let's see. All right, let's try to get something up here, guys. Let's see if we can get They're in Lubbock, Texas. Houston, no, too far. Houston, Dallas. Let's see who else. Who else? Okay, let's try St. Angelo. Okay. All right, so this is the one we're watching, guys. All right, and let's see if we can also slice it and get some height on this, okay? Sometimes we can do that. And I'll come back to it. You can actually see the boxes right there, huh? All the boxes that are highlighted. Okay, let's go ahead and get off of this and go one more time. I'm going to remove our earthquake. I'm also going to remove our satellite. Don't need those right now. And we're going to try and give it a little bit of a tilt angle. Let's see, tilt camera. Let's see. No. Let's see if I can pull it up on this one, okay? We're going to do our Echo Tops. We're going to do a couple of fun products right now, okay? Let's see if we can get a couple of really fun products. Okay, so this is a good one. These are our Echo Tops, okay? So this is a wonderful product, and we have this, never mind this time here. This is CDT, not CST up here, you can see. So right here, we're looking at hook echoes, right? Echo Tops, and this will give us some kind of indication. Like, look what's happening here across, like I said earlier, across that state line, Oklahoma into Kansas. That is an area that's firing up. And then I just said Lubbock, Texas. This was another area that is of concern. And of course, we're going to be tracking that for you as well. But I want to kind of show you something else that I think is really useful for you to see. Let's see if we can drag that here. Give it a minute. We'll just kind of go to black for 1 second. Don't worry, we'll be right back. Okay. There we go. So that one in particular was showing you, here we go. This, and now we have more. We have another strong storm cell. So in that same general area, Texas Panhandle, we're still seeing another. Now we're seeing another stronger, hardier cell that's moving across the area. Okay, so this is where things get really, really dangerous, especially because now we're talking about 6:17 p.m. Just a little bit closer, not much closer to nightfall, right? That's always concerning. And look at the amount of moisture you're pulling in from the Gulf. This is amazing. It's pretty incredible, I think. All right, so here we go. So now we're just going to remove our satellite. We don't need it right now. Probably remove our satellite. Remove the satellite. Here we go. And we just have our radar on. So guys, look at this. Look at this entire area. Let's see. Oh, Anna is here. Perfect. Hey. Quality. I am so excited. I know she's had like a lot of clients today, so she's pretty slammed. Okay. Let's just get this going. Hey, lady, how are you? Hello? Oh, let's see. Hang on. Let me see if I can get you going. Audio.
Oh, I think it was me on my end.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right, perfect.
Hi.
Okay. Hi.
What's going on?
Oh, well, just right now we're tracking some there's another tornado warning issued by the National Weather Service. So that's exactly what we're doing. Wow. Okay. So now basically, I know you were going to hop on quickly to talk about your concerns with air quality. I know Dr. Siri Shakti was going to hop on as well. But she has a client. So what are your thoughts all in all with the air quality stories that are going on? I do have to keep an
Yeah.
eye out here for what's happening for these tornado warnings, but what are your thoughts about the air quality concerns? And
Yeah, well, I mean, I've firsthand, as anyone who's been watching knows that I've been pretty sick the last, I don't know, since the fires honestly happened. I personally was affected. I got a cough and it recently became worse over the last couple of weeks. I had a flu, so my immune system was down, so I was more susceptible to it. So I became, one of those sensitive groups. And so, um, yeah, I think it's just about precautions, like there's not really like I can't change the air. I can't make it cleaner. It is what it is, so I have to just do what I can to protect myself. Um, in fact, I got some of this actually. I just wanted to show you guys it's respiratory health. So this has got the Mulon in it, which is really good for detoxification for the lungs and opening up the respiratory system.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a liquid extract, and it's got like marshmallow root in it, some elderberry, orange peel, calendula flower. So it's very healing, but really good for supporting the lungs,
Mm-hmm.
and the respiratory system. As you can tell, I'm still a little bit kind of like nasally. Yeah, and I have an air purifier. I'm fortunate enough to have an air purifier at home, like a really industrial strength kind of one. So keeping that on, every time I leave the house, it's just a matter of reminding myself to turn that on so I come back to a clean environment. Yeah, so that's kind of my tips, really, just doing what you can to keep your lungs like healthy, especially if you have them infected. And I have noticed that, it's going to be interesting to see what studies come about or data comes back on how many people ended up getting some respiratory issues after the LA fires. I think that we're yet to find out the effects of it. And, when like they're starting to do a bit of a cleanup, and so you've got to think when things are being cleaned up, there's a lot of debris, there's a lot of dust that goes up in the air, and a lot of those toxins then resurface and get put into the atmosphere and the air, So I personally think that has also been affecting the air quality, particularly in LA, obviously, because of the post fires. Yeah, so I'm mindful of it. I unfortunately feel like I have got some kind of like a little bit of a lung issue, maybe from that. I'm not sure if it's just something to do with the flu, but I have a feeling it could be tied in with the air quality, because I did notice that soon after the fires, and I could smell the fire. Like I'm in Tarzana, I could smell the air actually smelt really smoky quite a few times, because there were so many different fires going on. So, yeah, I think I wasn't as precautious. I think because it caught everyone off guard too. Because I saw Palisades burning, the fire came really close to here, but I wasn't. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't wear a mask enough, I don't think, when I was outside in kind of bad air quality, and I think it affected me, sadly. And so now I think like when the air quality is at a high index, for and unhealthy for sensitive groups, I'm now starting to feel affected by that, where typically I used to not. So yeah, it's interesting. I can empathize, with
it's
people that
interesting
are
to read
sensitive.
about this. Like I know this is your area of expertise, but a lot of times I want to just talk to people and explain like what's being impacted. An example, I'm reading something right now that's saying how it's caused and linked to the blue baby syndrome and endocrine disruptions through the release of toxins. The tissue threatens not only the health of the natural world, but the health of humans as well. And there's also an economic impact related to the handling of nitrates. So the map that you're seeing right now is the map of nitrates, and we are using NASA research
Right.
goes at 5 simulation. So annual cost estimates for management related to CHABS stand at about 2.4 billion in just U.S. lake and stream systems. So
Wow.
this is it's a huge problem as far as the air quality goes, and I'm definitely hoping everybody's starting to feel better as soon as possible, because it's definitely not something that we want to be able to keep dealing with. And I thought, I mean, I'm still looking at
Yeah.
these storms right now. These are kind of the top of the hour for me, but I wanted to talk about how I thought that was a pretty spicy claim RFK Jr. made.
Oh,
That was
yes, please. I would love to touch on that.
that was okay. Second, I
And
thought,
I, just while you're looking that up, do you mind if I read out something as well that I found
yeah,
to share
go
about
for
the
it.
air quality post the fire? So, following the January 2025 wildfires in Los Angeles County, including the Palisades, Eaton, and Hearst fires, air quality across the region was severely compromised. Smoke and particulate matter from these fires led to hazardous
Sorry,
conditions.
Anna, I have to stop you. I'm
Oh,
sorry. There's
yeah.
a tornado report. Hang on right now,
Oh,
right where we
yes,
were just
please.
looking.
Let's do it.
So please take tight. So we were looking at the Texas Panhandle, and
Yep.
we just got a report there. Hang on one second. Um, we have to focus now, guys, on what's happening here with these tornadoes. This one in particular, just now again, I have to get more information on it right now, but we just got the report where we were just looking, where I said there was a severe storm watch in pink. It was there was an overlay of a severe thunderstorm warning, and then there was an overlay of a tornado watch and then a tornado warning. Now,
Uh-huh.
this was a tornado. It was reported in Silverton, Texas, which is Floyd County. It
Mhm.
was reported by a storm chaser and multiple reports with confirmed via video feed. Okay, so this was local time 6:10. So this was just 15 minutes ago. And
Wow.
it was one of the tornadoes that we were tracking. Anna, I'm going to have to possibly cut us short here. There's another
Yes,
report, another
please.
okay, another tornado. We were tracking the same area, and I got to be a lot more diligent about these here.
Yeah.
At 6:21 p.m., this one was reported in Camp Houston, Oklahoma, or Woods County. Broadcast media, for whatever they're good for. We're going to just go ahead and keep it moving for that. Legacy media, you know how I feel about that. So anything to make a buck. Are we accurate, though? That's the question. So we also are looking at another report here
Mm-hmm.
that was given at 5:35 p.m. Fairbury, Nebraska. This is the one from earlier. Jefferson County, a train spotter. So, guys, we're just going to go ahead and just focus here on what we're seeing. This one makes, we were talking about this earlier. It makes so much sense. Look at all of the hail. They were talking about ping pong size hail. And now,
Right.
of course, even though these reports have been stated and claimed, it's not until you and I know, Anna, it's not until the National Weather Service goes in and surveys it and gives it the thumbs up that it
Mhm.
indeed is a tornado. Otherwise, for right now, it was just an observation.
Yeah.
Okay. But we always like to make sure that we're really clear with that. I think Anna and I and the entire team pretty strict with that. We're also seeing some rotation that's just moving through parts of Dixon. So Dixon right now, you guys, we're starting to see some concerns for Missouri, but of course they're always getting slammed with storm cells. Look at this guy right here. This one is a Titan impact range of probably a 4 in St. Francois, Missouri. Okay. And I've got all of the satellite radars up. So Anna was just talking about the air quality. We quickly diverged to just talk about these two reports of a tornado. Again, until they're confirmed by the National Weather Service, this is what we're saying they have seen and reported. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Anna. So let's go for it. So yeah, you're saying that your story again. I'm sorry about what you were
Yeah,
reading.
no, thank you. This is what live weather is all about, keeping everyone informed in real time. So thank you, Erica. Yes, but like I was saying that the toxicity levels that we got in the air, which isn't common, because these fires were so big and so many structures burnt down. So you had urban structures releasing toxic substances such as like lead, formaldehyde, if they were old, buildings, asbestos, and like you got to think like that's some toxic stuff, and the particulate matter is so small that you breathe it in. You actually do. It does get into your lungs, into areas that's just definitely not meant to be in, and so.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people are feeling the effects of it. So I was just basically saying, okay, so that's very negative and everything. So what can we do about it? So it's just all about prevention and trying to do what you can to heal. if you have been affected. So I like to, like I was saying, things like respiratory health, mullein leaf, making mullein leaf tea is really nice as well, and even breathing that in as you're making the tea, because that'll actually go into your respiratory system as
And we
well.
have an air
Just
quality alert, by the way. We do have an air quality alert.
Right.
It is, let's see, in the Coachella Valley, levels of particle pollution or particulate matter can vary by time and location depending on emissions and local weather conditions until 7 a.m. Friday. Particle pollution can get deep into the lungs and cause serious health problems such as asthma attacks, heart and lung disease symptoms, as increased risks of lung infections. Everyone can be affected, but sensitive groups such as people with lung or heart disease, of course, are more impacted, right? But everybody can be affected here. And so you can see this is in the low desert, Anna, so it makes sense exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
And with the wind, this is a problem.
Yeah, and with the trick as well, like like I was saying that when the fires were happening, I could smell it. So so then you go, okay, well, I should wear a mask. It smells bad, but a lot of the time you actually can't detect it. There might be really toxic particulate matter in the air, but you can't smell it or see it, and so that's where people are caught off guard. So it's always good to check in with people like the Weather Co-op and be notified, stay up to date, because it could be a day where you should actually be more careful, when
Absolutely.
the air quality is bad. So yeah.
Absolutely. I think that's really important to note there. And as we said, this is the tornado report that we have here. That's just it was something that we've been watching earlier on. I was like, right, like kind of just cutting state lines there from Oklahoma to Kansas. We'll have to wait for that to see what the report is. But we're excited to make sure we keep everybody set. And then here's that other one that we talked about as well. And Anna, I know you've been working on some really great meetings today for the team, and we're really pumped. I know everybody's excited to see what's going to happen when this app comes out. But Anna's been working on some sneaky DL stuff that's like super cool, and I'm really excited. Which, by the way, what did I get? Oh, woohoo! My hair mask was just delivered. I needed that. Needed that. So Anna, so you're gonna connect with the guys, right? And then circle back to all that, and then we've got our meeting first thing in the morning.
Yep.
All right, babe. Thank you so much for joining me.
All right,
I know you're not.
Nice to see you.
Bye. All right, guys, that was Anna Maybury giving us all of her information, her brilliance when it comes to what we can expect as far as the air quality is concerned. I'm meteorologist Erica Martin with Weather Co-op, where weather meets community. Guys, I do hope you're having a wonderful day, but we're tracking some serious storms right now. We've got 3 reports right now, just the past hour for tornadoes, including, just southwest of Childress. Okay. So we've got Silverton, okay. Silverton. Camp Houston. And Fairbury, Fairbury, Jefferson County, Nebraska. All right, guys. We're going to go ahead and leave it right here, but we will be back. And make sure I just leave this for you guys. And remember, at Weather Co-op, or Weather Meets Community, we are always keeping you updated on all